Rasheeda Frost's voice broke with years of pent-up pain when she finally looked Kirk Frost in the eyes and said the words no one thought they'd ever hear during a furious altercation that left the whole cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta frozen in disbelief. "Kirk, I'm done protecting you. I'm defending myself this time." Deathly silence descended upon the room. Following over 10 years of scandals, accusations of infidelity, covert side children, dubious economic transactions, and public humiliations that would have ended the majority of marriages, the extremely devoted Rasheeda had now reached her breaking point. She had fought friends, family, and even admirers to defend her spouse. During what was meant to be a standard cast dinner in Atlanta, everything blew out. Attempting to minimize yet another shocking revelation about his most recent transgression, Kirk entered with his trademark grin. However, Rasheeda would not have it this time. She slammed her hands on the table and said, "You've embarrassed me for the last time," as hot tears ran down her cheeks. "You made me appear like a complete idiot each time I told the world you were changing in front of those cameras." With their phones already out, Mimi Faust and Erica Mena sat there with wide eyes, documenting something they knew would go viral. In a matter of seconds, Kirk's expression changed from defensive to desperate. He reached for her hand and begged, "Baby, not here." But Rasheeda grabbed it as if it were burning. Insiders are murmuring that something terrible happened just hours before cameras rolled. This wasn't just another dispute. It was the culmination of years of broken promises, secret texts, hidden hotel receipts, and a marriage pushed to the extreme brink. After seeing the early teasers, fans are going crazy on social media, posting comments like "finally" and "Rasheeda deserves better." It was so raw that it caused Rasheeda to doubt all the sacrifices she had ever made for Kirk and their company. The drama is just getting started. Rasheeda stood there with tears streaming down her face as the cameras rolled, capturing every raw and unfiltered second of what would become one of the most explosive moments in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta history. Her voice was strong and filled with years of built-up pain. But what exactly drove her over the edge this time? Will this explosive showdown be the end of Rasheeda and Kirk for good? "I am done defending you, Kirk," she responded, meeting Kirk's gaze directly. "I'm defending myself and my tranquility this time." The entire cast froze in their seats. You could feel the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Mimi Faust sat there with her mouth wide open while Erica Mena quickly grabbed her phone to record every single word, knowing this clip was going to break the internet. Kirk tried to stay calm, at first reaching his hand out saying, "Baby, calm down. Let's discuss this in private." Kirk said, "Every time I give you another chance, you embarrass me publicly and make me look like a fool in front of the world." But Rasheeda snatched away from his touch like it burned her skin. "No more private talks." She let out a scream, her voice breaking with emotion, and the dispute swiftly intensified as Rasheeda started to vent about all the years of pain, beginning with the early accusations of infidelity from season 3, when she was by his side. Fans are going crazy over the online preview clips, flooding Twitter and Instagram with comments like, "Finally, Rasheeda is waking up and it's about damn time." Despite everyone telling her to leave him, she stood up for him through the secret baby scandal, the multiple women coming forward with receipts, and even the embarrassing moment when his side chick showed up at their family event. Now, in season 13, nothing had really changed. The stakes were extremely high, not only for their love but also for their entire business, given everything she had given up for this marriage. Their joint apparel company, their real estate holdings, and their reputation as one of the most enduring couples in reality TV were all at stake. And Rasheeda kept opening up to Kirk, telling him that she had missed so many chances for him. As the argument intensified, Kirk became defensive, saying, "You always do this, Rasheeda, making me look like the bad guy when we both have made mistakes." But that only fueled Rasheeda even more. She declined significant business deals to keep their family together and defended him in interviews, even when her own friends questioned her judgment. What did she get in return? More lies, more late nights, and more justifications that didn't add up. Or she retaliated. The mention of their children struck Kirk hard because he knew how hard Rasheeda had worked to protect them from the drama. Cameras panned across the faces of the other cast members, showing pure shock and some even nodding in agreement as if they had been waiting for this day to come. Sapphire and the other girls were clearly emotional as they watched their friend finally find her voice after so long of playing the ride-or-die wife back at the dinner table. The accusations continued to fly. The final straw that broke the camel's back and drove her to this point was Rasheeda's revelation of startling new information about a recent discovery she made just days before filming something about hidden messages and money transfers that proved Kirk had been involved with yet another woman behind her back. Rasheeda's voice rose to a breaking point as she told Kirk, "You have taken me for granted for far too long. I deserve better than this never-ending cycle of repeated betrayal and apology." The space was split up. While some cast members like Jocelyn understood exactly what Rasheeda was going through, others like Carly Red attempted to mediate by saying, "Y'all need to calm down and talk this out like adults." They encouraged her to continue speaking her truth because they had their own share of poisonous relationships. Kirk's expression changed from defensive to frantic as he realized that his typical charm and slick talking would not make things better this time. "Baby, I love you. We can work this out. We always do," he begged her. But Rasheeda firmly shook her head. "Kirk, not this time. I'm sick of trying to figure things out as you continue to do the same things." Her eyes were filled with raw, genuine pain, demonstrating to the audience at home the emotional and mental toll that this marriage had put on her. Rasheeda started to doubt everything about their relationship as the argument went on, including the sacrifices, the public humiliations, and whether it was still worthwhile to stay together for the sake of their family or their business. She made it clear to him that she was thinking of permanently leaving and concentrating on her own happiness. The cast was shocked by this statement, and when the program aired, the entire fan base would be shocked as well. According to people close to the couple, this explosion had been developing behind the scenes for months, with several private altercations that were never captured on camera. But because they knew it would be television gold, the producers made sure to record it all this time. However, when Rasheeda persisted, more information about Kirk's recent actions began to surface, including purported business transactions he made using their shared funds without her knowledge. When a result, the drama was far from over. This made the situation even more convoluted and unpleasant by combining financial and emotional problems, adding yet another layer of treachery. Producers were later informed by Rasheeda's friends that they had never witnessed her so angry and determined to change. After bearing the burden of the relationship for so long, they said she had now reached her breaking point. Even though Kirk kept up his usual routine, the evening was still early and this heated disagreement was just the start of what would be an emotional roller coaster for both the actors and the home audience. Rasheeda was about to say more as she wiped away her tears and inhaled deeply. As they waited for the next shocking revelation, the cameras continued to roll. Everyone was aware that their relationship will never be the same after this. Online fans are already taking sides, with most of them endorsing Rasheeda and urging her to prioritize herself at last. They had no idea that the next few scenes would contain even more shocking revelations that would make everyone reevaluate their preconceived notions about this well-known couple after all these years of devotion and suffering. Kirk tried every strategy he could to defuse the situation as the confrontation continued for what seemed like hours. However, Rasheeda was no longer the same person who would accept his apologies in silence and move on. She had waited far too long to demand respect and accountability, but now she was standing tall. This was a potentially pivotal moment not only for their marriage but also for Rasheeda as a person prepared to take back control of her voice. As more cast members started to express their ideas, the atmosphere in the room drastically changed in the realm of reality television, where a lot of women fall victim to toxic relationships. While others attempted to defend Kirk by arguing that marriage is difficult and no one is perfect, the harm had already been done and Rasheeda's remarks had struck right to the core of the issue. The tension only grew more intense as the episode progressed, laying the groundwork for what many are referring to as the most eagerly awaited season in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta history. However, what transpired next would completely alter the Frosts' lives and send shockwaves through the whole Love and Hip Hop community. Taking a deep breath, Rasheeda revealed the biggest revelation of the evening. She had discovered Kirk's most recent affair not only through rumors but also through tangible evidence in the shape of a hidden phone. Hours before the dinner, she found the device in his car. She pulled it out on the table and demanded that he explain the hundreds of messages to Tiana, a woman who had been referring to herself as the new Mrs. Frost behind her back. The cameras caught her voice trembling with rage. The cast all let out a collective gasp as Erica Mena zoomed in closer and whispered, Oh my God, this is next level even for us. Mimi Faust almost spilt her drink. Kirk became pale as he reached for the phone. You don't get to hide anymore, Kirk. I have spent years making excuses for you, telling the world you were just misunderstood. But this time, the proof is staring us all in the face, Rasheeda declared. The face, and I will no longer be the idiot. Kirk began to stutter, and the room erupted into turmoil. It's not what it appears to be, baby. She is merely a business partner. But despite her tears, Rasheeda laughed bitterly. Business partner who talks about future initiatives we never even talk together and sends you heart emoticons. No more gaslighting or lying. I'm done serving as your emotional punching bag, public relations manager, and shield all at once. Rasheeda was deeply affected by the emotional struggle, since she still harbored feelings for the man with whom she had built an empire. But now that their kids were watching from home and their joint brand was in jeopardy, the personal stakes were too great. She described how she began to doubt all of her sacrifices after this most recent betrayal, declining offers for solo music, remaining mute during previous controversies, and even standing up for him when his own family doubted his allegiance. While friends like Carly Red attempted to play peacemaker by saying, "Y'all have been through worse. Let's not blow it up on camera." Friends like Sapphire intervened to try to console Rasheeda, saying, "Girl, you have carried this weight alone long enough. It's time to let it go." However, the damage had already been done, and the cast's reactions revealed how split the group had become. After years of stillness, several nodded in support of Rasheeda's eventual discovery of her voice. Behind the scenes, producers were ecstatic because this unscripted, genuine moment was pure television gold, the kind that keeps viewers coming back, even though some whispered that marriage is difficult and nobody is perfect. As the fight continued season after season, Kirk tried to change the course of events by accusing Rasheeda of being too preoccupied with her own job lately and not giving him enough attention, which only infuriated her or caused her to retaliate. "You must be joking with me. I have repeatedly put my goals on hold for you, Kirk, while you were out pursuing every thrill that presented itself." When Rasheeda raised their children and said, "I want them to see their mother standing strong. I will not let them grow up thinking this kind of disrespect is normal," the family drama intensified. When Jocelyn revealed that she had heard from mutual friends that Kirk had actually moved some of their joint business money into an account under Tiana's name without telling Rasheeda, the betrayal now combined financial ruin with emotional heartbreak, leaving the entire table stunned. For once, emotions ran extremely high as tears flowed freely and voices cracked under the weight of years of unresolved pain. At first, Kirk made an effort to deny it, but his expression was clear. He was aware that he had been caught red-handed, and that he would not be able to get out of this situation with slick talking. "You have destroyed everything we built together with your selfishness," Rasheeda said, getting up from the table and pointing at him. "And now I am reclaiming my power, my tranquility, and my future." The cast marveled at this once ride-or-die wife's transformation into a self-reliant woman. When Kirk finally broke down and acknowledged some of the truth while attempting to downplay it, the tension increased even further. "I'm sorry, baby, but we can work things out like we usually do. Do you recall how we triumphed over the previous scandal and emerged stronger?" Rasheeda gave a headshake. "No, Kirk. There isn't a we this time. For the first time in years, it's just me picking myself." Erica Mina yelled, "Yes, queen. Get your respect." While Mimi Faust gave Rasheeda a hug while whispering, "I have been there, girl," as the responses came in from across the room. And things improve. Everyone deserves a second chance, but the majority rallied around Rasheeda, praising her for finally standing up after all the public humiliations she had endured, some cast members said, dividing the family. Later, fans flooded social media with support, calling Rasheeda a legend and saying it's about time she put herself first. However, as the evening went on, Rasheeda revealed that she had already spoken with solicitors about dividing their assets and potentially filing for divorce, so the drama was far from ended. Kirk was hit hard by this news. His expression crumpled as he saw that this may be the end of their joint empire rather than just a dispute. With their joint businesses, clothing line, real estate, and even their joint appearances on the show in jeopardy, the personal stakes increased dramatically. The tense conversations continued, with Kirk begging for another opportunity, vowing to attend counseling, and severing all ties with Tiana. Rasheeda, however, was not listening. I have heard these promises before, Kirk, and they always end the same way with me crying alone, she told him bluntly. As you moved on to the next woman, the unexpected twist occurred when Rita's sister, who had been waiting in the wings, unexpectedly showed up at the dinner and jumped in to defend her siblings, saying, "Kirk, you have hurt my sister for the last time, and the family is tired of watching her suffer in silence." This added another layer of family drama as old wounds from earlier seasons surfaced, with accusations that Kirk had alienated Rasheeda from her own support system over the years. Everyone was talking over each other in an attempt to be heard above the commotion, and the room turned into a war of emotions. Producers had to intervene on several occasions to prevent a physical altercation. However, the unadulterated genuineness of it all created television that will never be forgotten. Rasheeda talked about the mental toll it had taken on her. The anxiety attacks, the sleepless nights, and the ongoing worry that another scandal might surface online as she continued to unload. The cast nodded in agreement as she said, "I have smiled through the pain for too long, pretending everything was fine for the cameras, but tonight I am done pretending I want real love, not this toxic cycle that keeps breaking me down." Many of them had their own tales of betrayal and resiliency, which made the scene even more poignant and relatable to viewers at home. When someone brought up a previous instance in which Rasheeda had publicly defended Kirk after he was caught in a hotel with another woman while on a work trip, the charges of treachery continued to mount. But she was changing the story, telling everyone, including the cameras, that she was sorry each time she put loyalty before her own dignity. When Kirk got up and attempted to leave the table saying, "I can't do this right now," Rasheeda stopped him saying, "You don't get to walk away from this conversation like you walk away from our problems. We are finishing this here." At this point, the tension was so high that it seemed as though the air itself was charged with electricity. More information concerning Kirk's covert meetings and late-night calls, which Rasheeda had been ignoring to maintain harmony, came to light as the altercation dragged on for what felt like hours. "I am standing up not just for me but for every woman who has ever been made to feel small in her own relationship," she said. Friends and cast members responded by giving her hugs and encouraging words, while others appeared uneasy that their own relationships might be the next to be scrutinized. Viewers were left on the edge of their seats, wondering if this was actually the end or simply another chapter in the never-ending story of Rasheeda and Kirk, as the show documented every moment of this emotional roller coaster. As Rasheeda brushed away her tears one more time and surveyed the room, she saw that the stakes had never been higher, with their family's future, their legacy, and their wealth all at stake. "I deserve better, and I am finally going to get it," she declared with a renewed sense of resolve. But just when everyone thought the drama had reached its zenith, Kirk received an enigmatic phone call at the table that seemed to corroborate even more secrets regarding a potential pregnancy rumor with the other woman. So the night was far from over. Rasheeda screamed, "Is there no end to your lies?" As a result of this, sending her into a new wave of heartbreak and rage. Kirk and the cast scrambled to contain the fallout, with Mimi Faust pulling Rasheeda aside for a private moment while Erica and Mina continued to record every raw moment, knowing that this would be the video that goes viral on the internet. The family drama escalated when Rasheed, the sister, confronted Kirk, accusing him directly of undermining her sister's confidence over the years and demanding that he take responsibility for once. The arguments alternated between financial betrayals, emotional neglect, and public image issues, making the whole scene feel like a pressure cooker that could blow up at any moment. Nevertheless, Rasheeda remained unwavering throughout, refusing to concede or accept yet another hollow apology.